Yeah, students, in the previous video lecture, we have defined inertia, which is a natural tendency. Every body possesses inertia. Every body on the surface of the earth will be definitely possessing some sort of inertia. Either it can be in rest or it can be in motion. So based on that, as all bodies may not be in rest always, some may be in motion. Therefore, inertia can be categorized into three different ways. Inertia can be categorized into three different ways. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. These are the three different types of inertia which was been explained by Newton. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and as well as inertia of direction. Today we will be learning some interesting facts about this inertia. Now there are few animations on the screen. There are few animations on the screen. You could see that in the figure 1, a person is moving, a person is running, he is gaining some momentum and he is going for a long jump. And in figure 2, there is a there is a toy where it is kicking a ball which is in rest position, right? In figure 1 animations, you are able to see that clearly. So in this first animation, a person is going to jump long. In order to jump long, he run from certain distance. And coming to the second figure, there is a smiley here where it is kicking a ball which is in the rest position. So ball is in rest initially, and this smiley is kicking that ball into the motion, right? Now let us come to explanation of inertia from these two animations. Check it up in this figure 1. What is actually happening here? If suppose a person is standing his own position and if he give a jump, he could not jump longer. That is very clear. Now if he is going certain distance and from that distance, if he run and he can jump longer distance. What is actually happening in this case? Suppose if a person is in rest position, if a person is in rest, he has inertia of rest. He has inertia of rest. As he is possessing inertia of rest, disturbing his inertia from rest to motion is tedious. But whereas when the person is coming from longer distance, so he himself set his inertia. When the person is in motion, he possesses inertia of motion. So when the person is going back and if he start himself running, in such case, from inertia of rest, he is gaining inertia of motion. As a result, now when he come to this position where he is about to jump, he is possessing inertia of motion. Now with that inertia of motion, he will be just pushing himself in upward direction by pressing ground in downward direction. As a result, he can take longer jump, right? So being in rest position, disturbing inertia of rest himself becomes complicated for him. It becomes tough. But whereas when he go longer distance and if he run, then he is changing himself from inertia of rest to inertia of motion. And when he is in inertia of motion will push him in forward direction when he start to jump at this point. That is what you are understanding from figure 1. Now come to figure 2. What is happening in figure 2? Initially this ball is in rest. Ball is in rest. What kind of inertia it is possessing? It is possessing inertia of rest. As it is possessing inertia of rest, it remain in inertia of rest for as many days as possible until you disturb. That body will be in its own position and it has tendency to be in that position of inertia of rest. But what is this person doing? He is coming closer and he is kicking this ball. So what have happened now? This ball, which is initially possessing inertia of rest, is now changing its inertia to inertia of motion. It is changing from inertia of rest to inertia of motion. So this body, if it is initially in rest, it remains in rest position unless you disturb. But now when you are disturbing, what is happening? Its inertia of rest is converted to inertia of motion. Therefore, from these two activities, from these two animations, you are able to understand that when you disturb the body, its inertia state change. Its inertia state change, right? Suppose if a body is in an inertia of rest, if a body is possessing inertia of rest, if you disturb that, it will tend to become motion, inertia of motion. Similarly, if the body is initially in motion, and if you disturb that, it can brought to be rest position. Therefore, inertia of rest can tend to inertia of motion. Inertia of motion can tend to inertia of rest by disturbing that body. So if you disturb that body, rest can tend to become motion. If you disturb the body which is in motion, motion can convert to being to rest. That is what, when you are disturbing a body, the inertia state would undergo change. Right? From these two animations, this concept is clear. You are able to understand that clearly. Now let us go for another animation. See, observe carefully. These are the two animations which are being given on the screen. A person going for long jump, initially he will come from certain distance and he starts to jump. And in the second figure, the body is possessing inertia of rest. You are disturbing it so that it is converted to inertia of motion. And in the first figure, body is possessing inertia of motion. Because of inertia of motion, he is continuing his jump to longer length and he is coming to rest. So inertia of motion has now become inertia of rest when the person is going for long jump. Now let us go for another animation. Check these figures. In the first figure, there is a blue car and that blue car is coming with some certain velocity. And when the blue car is coming with certain velocity, it is already possessing inertia of motion. So when it is possessing inertia of motion, all the objects, like the person who is in inertia, the person in the car also possesses inertia of motion. Car is possessing inertia of motion. Person in the car also possesses inertia of motion. But when the car hit the wall, car is coming to rest positions. The sudden change in the inertia is being brought. So blue car is directly coming to rest from inertia of motion to inertia of rest. But the person, as he does not have seat belt, what happened there? The person, his inertia of motion continued to be in the inertia of motion. As a result, he continued to roll down from the car and he falls away. That's what actually happens when a car met with an accident. Likewise, in the second figure, you see there is a roller, and upon that roller there is a smiley, and that roller is coming over and it hit a stone. So as this stone is not movable, so what have happened here, when the roller come over here and hit this stone, roller is coming to rest position, but the smiley is not coming to rest. What it is happening, it is continuing its motion and it fall down. It continue its motion and it fall down. So these are the two figures where in the animations, from these two animations, you are able to understand clearly that point number 1 is that tendency of bodies, whether in rest or in motion, tendency of body to continue in rest or motion is inertia. In the figure 1, this car is in inertia of motion, so the person who is in the car is also possessing inertia of motion. When car hit the wall, the inertia of motion is directly changed to inertia of rest. But as a person who is sitting in the car, his inertia of motion continued. See, the person's inertia of motion is continuing. That is the reason why he is coming out from the car and he is falling away. So inertia of motion, as the person is in the car, he is possessing inertia of motion. That inertia of motion will continue if there is no opposing force. Likewise, in this second figure, in figure 2, for roller, inertia, it is initially possessing inertia of motion, right? As there is a stone here, inertia of motion is tending to become inertia of rest. So directly this roller is coming to rest position. From motion, it is tending to come to inertia of rest because there is a huge stone in front of the roller. But whereas for a person, what happens? In case of person, he is possessing inertia of motion. He is possessing inertia of motion and he continue to be in motion. So that is the reason why as he is continuing his motion, he is falling down from the roller, right? So these are the two important examples where we can justify the conclusions given by Galileo. He stated that bodies which are in the inertia of rest continue to be in the rest, just like how football is remaining in rest position unless you disturb. And the bodies which are in inertia of motion continue to be in the motion. Here person is possessing inertia of motion. He is continuing to be in the inertia of motion even after the car is coming to rest. And in the second case also, roller is possessing inertia of motion. Smiley is also possessing inertia of motion. And this Smiley is falling down because he is continuing its inertia of motion according to Galileo's concept. So these are the two animations which make clear understanding of inertia of rest and inertia of motion and tendency of a body to continue in the state of either rest or uniform motion. So the other type of inertia is inertia of direction. The bodies which are possessing in particular direction, they continue to be in the same direction. See, now there is a car is moving on the road, but what is happening? The sudden change in the direction of car is not allowed by the inertia. Suppose you have a car and that car has road. This is road. There is a sudden change in the road, sudden change. So therefore, when the car is coming from left to right, what would happen? The car is not allowed to change its direction suddenly. Therefore, the car driver, when the car is coming from here, the car driver should mentally make up his mind such that there is a turning overhead Therefore, he starts to decelerate when he come to this region. So when he is moving with greater velocity, say for example, his velocity is 10 meter per second at this point, it will become slowly 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So when it come here, this car velocity become 2 meter per second, and with this 2 meter per second, slowly he will take the turn. So what is happening here? Slowly you are bringing inertia of motion to inertia of rest. From 10 meter per second, you are changing its velocity to meter per second. You are slowly decreasing the inertia of motion effect. And there, after coming here, it is now changing its direction slowly, right? But whereas if you see this example where it is in this animation, clearly the car is traveling. If you are suddenly changing your direction, what would happen? The car would skid and you may fall down. So therefore, in this figure also, you are able to clearly understand that as the car makes right hand turn, the driver starts its turning motion immediately due to the force of door pushing the driver inward. The passenger continues in the linear motion until striking the driver. Then the inward force induces the turning motion. So it is that simply if there are two people in the car, then in such cases, you can clearly understand that if there is car taking right turn, you will be forced to move left side. Student, ikkada green color passenger is being pushed outward from the turning. Okay, so therefore inertia of direction will not allow you to change your direction suddenly. See, observe carefully in this animation. Blue color person is being drifted, or he is being pushed left side because car is taking right side. So therefore you can observe now clearly. Blue color person is being drifted leftward because the car is taking turn right side. So therefore inertia of direction does not allow us to change direction immediately. So what we need to do, so slowly we need to bring the body from inertia of motion to inertia of rest, and then you need to change the direction of the body. So that's what basically these are the three different types of inertia which was clearly explained by Galileo. So from all the three animations and activities examples, we have discussed three different types of inertia. They are inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. So every body will have its own inertia. Some bodies can be in inertia of rest, some may possess inertia of motion, some may be in particular direction. So inertia of rest, if a body is possessing inertia of rest, to bring to inertia of motion, what you need to do, you should apply a force. So when you apply force on the body, from rest it tends to become motion. Suppose if the body is in inertia of motion, to bring it to rest, you need to apply force, right? Similarly, if a body is moving in particular direction, what you need to do, you need to slow down and you need to change the direction. So in order to change the direction of body, you need to apply some force. Therefore, when you are acting force on your body, what does it do? It changes the state of inertia. So force is that which change inertia state. From inertia of rest, it changes to inertia of motion. From inertia of motion, it changes to inertia of rest. In particular direction, you can change the direction by applying some kind of force. Therefore, Every body, it has its own natural tendency to be in the state of either rest or motion. In order to bring a body from rest to motion, you should apply a force, or motion to rest, you should apply a force, or to change the direction, you should apply a force. Therefore, a force is that which changes the state of inertia. Now come to Newton's first law. So Newton's first law, it is just whatever the statements proposed by Galileo, same thing was proposed by Newton in his first law. Therefore, Newton's first law is also called law of inertia. It is called law of inertia. Newton's first law is called law of inertia. Whatever the proposals made by the Galileo, all those proposals were being added as the statement of first law in Newton laws. So what it is? Every object continue in the state of rest or of uniform motion in the same straight line unless acted by a non-zero force. Remember that, a non-zero force. So whenever there is a non-zero force acting on the body, then only it will come to, then only its inertia does change. Okay, for example, you have a table. You have a table and a person who is in front of the table is pushing this table. As this person is pushing the table, what is net force? F net is not equal to 0. Therefore, table would continue from the state of rest to inertia of motion. It now come to this new position. Okay. So therefore, initially table is in inertia of rest. You are applying force and that force is not equal to 0. Net force is not equal to 0. As a result, from inertia of rest, it is possessing inertia of motion. Its inertial state has been changed to inertia of motion. Now let us take other example. Taking the same table, here is one person and he is applying force in this direction, and there is another person, he is applying force in this direction, right? First person is applying force F1 right side, second person is applying force F2 left side. Clearly from this figure you can understand that net force acting on in this case, F net is equal to F1 minus F2, which will be equal to 0. Suppose if magnitude of these people, magnitude of F1 is equal to magnitude of F2, then definitely F net will be equal to 0. Here it is balanced force. And what about this? Here it is unbalanced force. If there is unbalanced force acting on the body, then only the state of inertia change. If there is balanced force here, see, balanced force means two forces are acting in opposite directions such that their net becomes 0. If there is a balanced force acting on the body, what would happen now? The body is not coming to motion, its inertial state does not change, it remain in the rest position. It remain in the rest position. Now let us take one more example. Same table, and here is one person and there is another person. These two people are pushing the table in the same direction. So what is net force now? Net force will be equal to F1 plus F2. As a result, what would happen? Definitely this table would move. Table will be moving such that the sum F net is equal to F1 plus F2. Here also it is unbalanced force. Okay. So when you are acting an unbalanced force upon any object, its inertia does change. Suppose if it is in rest, it come to motion. If it is in motion, it come to rest. So here F net not equal to 0, inertia of rest is changed to inertia of motion, right? So therefore, when an unbalanced force acts upon any object, its inertia changes. Inertia of state, like it's a state of rest or state of uniform motion, would be changed. That is what Newton's first law states. And therefore, it is as it is the consequence of inertia, he named it his first law as law of inertia. So few examples dealing with Newton's first law is a person sitting in the moving train. A person is sitting in the moving train, throws a coin vertically upward. If the person is sitting in the moving train and throws a coin in upward direction, it falls behind him if the train is accelerating. If the train is accelerating, it falls behind him. It falls in front of him if the train is retarding. And it falls into the hand of the person if the train is moving with uniform velocity. And it falls into the hand of the person if the train is in rest position. These are the examples where you can apply Newton's first law. Students, you can look in the animation that a person who is going to jump, he initially move from certain distance. He actually, the person, when he is starting, he is in inertia of rest. When he is in inertia of rest, he continue to be in the inertia of rest. So being in the inertia of rest, he cannot jump for longer length. So what he do? First he will make up his body to come from inertia of rest to inertia of motion. So in order to make his body to change his inertia, he will run. He starts to run from longer length and he takes a long jump. So here what is happening in this case? When the body who is in motion, in this case, like I want to define one simple physical quantity named momentum. Momentum is denoted with P. So momentum, moving bodies, moving objects possess momentum. And remember, moving objects, definitely every object will have some mass. So moving objects which has mass definitely possess some momentum. Therefore, you can define momentum as product of mass and velocity. Product of mass and velocity. So P is equal to mv, which is defined as momentum. Unit of momentum is kg meter per second. Kg meter per second in SI system. Gram centimeter per second in CGS system. This is unit of momentum. And remember, momentum is vector quantity. Momentum is vector quantity. Its direction is in the direction of velocity. Okay, so now this person who is moving here, that person have some mass, right? That person is having some mass, and this body, this person, as he is about to move, he is in motion. So he have some mass and he is in motion. Mass multiplied with velocity will be giving you a new physical quantity called momentum. Suppose if the body is in the rest position, velocity is equal to 0. Therefore, what is his initial momentum? Momentum is 0. So therefore, clearly remember that we have if body is in rest. Body is in rest. So body which is in rest possess inertia of rest. For a body which is possessing inertia of rest, what is its momentum? Momentum is 0 because it is in rest position. Velocity is 0, therefore momentum is 0. Suppose if body is brought to motion, then definitely it possesses inertia of motion, and inertia of motion has non-zero momentum because the body is in motion. His mass is not equal to 0, velocity is also not equal to 0. Now body initially in rest position, this person who is jumping, he is in inertia of rest. So what is its initial momentum? 0. As he is running, when he is running from inertia of rest, he himself is coming to inertia of motion. When he is coming to inertia of motion, definitely he has a non-zero momentum. Therefore final momentum is non-zero. You can write it as m into v. Right, now understand clearly. From inertia of rest he is coming to inertia of motion. How? By applying some force. Therefore in order to change his inertia which is momentum equal to 0, it has come now to inertia of motion which is momentum not equal to 0 by applying some force. Is it not? When you are applying some force, then only inertia of rest will come to inertia of motion. Inertia of rest in the sense momentum is 0. Inertia of motion in the sense momentum is non-zero. In order to calculate the states of rest, we are defining the state of rest and state of motion. The changes in the state of rest and state of motion, we have defined a physical quantity called momentum, which gives you the state of inertia. So even though body is moving, it may move with less velocity or greater velocity. If in order to differentiate them, both are possessing inertia of motion, but in order to differentiate their inertia of motion, we have defined a physical quantity momentum, which is product of mass and velocity. So therefore, when you are applying force on the body, what it is doing? It brings change in momentum. It brings change in momentum. So it is bringing change in inertia. It is nothing but bringing change in the momentum. Therefore, you can write force applied upon the body is directly proportional to change in the momentum with respect to time. F is proportional to delta P divided by delta T. What is delta P? Change in the momentum. What is delta T? Change in the time taken. So time taken, how much change is observed in the momentum with respect to that time can be defined as force, that we will be discussing in the next video session. Understand clearly. A person A, he is moving with velocity 2 meters per second. What is his momentum? His momentum is equal to 10 into 2, which is equal to 20 kg meter per second. Now he is in motion. Same person, when he is at position B, he is moving with a speed of 10 meters per second. He is also possessing inertia of motion. Then what is its momentum? 10 into 10, which is equal to 100 kg meter per second. Both are in inertia of motion, but their velocities are different. In order to distinguish their velocities, we have defined a new physical quantity named momentum. Therefore, every body which is in inertia of motion possesses a physical quantity, possesses a physical state called momentum, which is mass multiplied with velocity. And I can write change in the momentum delta P is equal to final momentum minus initial momentum. Delta P can also be written as final momentum is mass into final velocity minus initial momentum is mass into initial velocity, which is m into v minus u. This is m delta v. This is delta P. This is the definition of change in momentum. And remember, this is vector. Change in momentum is also a vector quantity.